You may now
The
select
laning
your
setup's so key.
heroes.
For OG, like they have really good mid-game damage through Tiny initiating and like the combination of all their spells, but the pacing from Liquid can be very spooky when Ember and Chancellor Caesar are very active heroes that can just poke and prod and get tanky real quick.
I feel like we're gonna have a lot of just like straight up battling, which makes me really happy. I don't see the best tower taking actually on either side. Enchantress probably the best one with just like a creep that's enchanted later on with like the plus 70 damage and stuff like that. So I think we're gonna have a lot of duking out, but we're also gonna have some greed coming out because we have a Mag, Ember, and a Morphling as the 3 cores. So that always indicates some type of stacking. So that's interesting.
Do we have a favorite? Because you guys are making cases for both of these drafts.
This is one of those lineups where both of them have such a big team fight.
Yeah.
Whoever gets it off first should, crush the fight.
So initiation's important.
Yeah, and I lean more towards OG because they have slightly more layers to their team fight, but then also they kind of lack damage. So if they whiff it, then it's going to be devastating. They're going to roll over. But I kind of lean a little bit more towards OG just because I think I enjoy seeing Tiny. I think position 4 Hoodwink is a lot better than mid Hoodwink.
I slightly lean Liquid actually.
Ooh,
I do like the style that they go for with Ember Spirit. I've actually been ever since yesterday too, like seeing like the power they can have. Sometimes it's like you're so focused on one of these carries, like the Morphling, you're super focused. Then oh my god, Ember just killed our whole team with an ET aura or something like that. So it's close, but I slightly lean Liquid. I think they can scale pretty hard.
Well, you hear my panel. They're split and they're very even at this draft. But if there's one thing that I heard is that there's going to be a lot of important fights, good team fights, and our commentary team is going to be very happy with that. It is over to Cat and
Prepare for
Cat.
battle.
Yes, that's right, Cheever. The big match of the day, the big match of the week, and it feels like it should be a very even match, especially with our panel being split. But Kyle, history says it's anything but.
Oh, for sure. This is a situation OG knows well. They lose, they're fighting to stay in Division 1. If they win, they're in a tiebreaker to be top 2 in this season of the DPC. It is Sumail versus No Mail, and it is the final match until tiebreakers. I am so excited. Did a poll in the pregame. 60% of the people on Twitter thought that Liquid would win. In Twitch chat, 55% lean OG. I personally have no idea.
Well, I will just say, for a little bit of context, that these two teams, since Liquid has picked up this roster, they've played a lot against each other, okay? Just last season, right? Liquid managed to beat OG in the regular season, 2-1. Then they go into the 3-way tiebreaker. Who do they constantly beat? OG.
Yep.
It goes farther than that. OG has only won one series against Team Liquid. One. And they went 2-1. A combined score of all their series against each other amounts to 18-4 to Liquid's favor.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's got to be one of the best win rates against OG. That's pretty nuts.
I mean, that is an insane.
Nice
like,
work,
I was just
bro.
going through it.
Nice
I was
work,
like,
bro.
I know
Nice
Liquid
work,
has
bro.
beat OG
Nice
a
work,
number
bro.
of times, but I'm sure OG has had the, like, no. They've won one series and have only won 4 individual games in official matches going back to when Liquid was originally picked up. Only series that they won was the Epic League. That was, what, half a year ago? So,
well, yeah, different patch, different times, different teams.
yeah.
This is the matchup to watch right here. Thompson versus Sumail, the 1v1. We've seen Sumail and his Morphling a couple times so far. And I'm not shocked that Tiny was just straight up picked immediately by OG. We saw this yesterday. Yeah, they lost, but Miracle on Tiny did have a great performance. I expect the same out of Thompson today.
We had that discussion that one time Sumail got smashed really hard, said he was going to be playing a bunch of pubs perhaps as a result, and I do wonder if them just giving away the Tiny was in some way Sumail saying like, no, I'm going to be able to take Thompson in this mid lane matchup. Like, don't worry about just giving him this very scary hero. I'll handle him in the later phase, and we'll see whether or not he can do that. But it's OG who pick up the first blood, picking off Insania in top lane.
Yeah, talk about a scary lane. The Gush. It's been one of those incredible level 1 abilities for so long. 4 seconds, 40% slow, -4 armor. Hoodwink with the -2 from the Blightstone. Poor Ember Spirit, only 3 base armor. Snapfire with 4. You just straight up get clicked down. These heroes are way too strong level 1, so...
Yeah, you can see he didn't even go bushwhack. Went for the acorn shot. Look at this. You can see that damage so much. Now he's got bushwhack as well. They just work on 100 and 0 Insania. Oh, the healing cell keeps him alive, but it is canceled. So Insania is not looking great for regen.
Indeed, and they got to be a little more careful. You got to use the aura, the plus armor aura under tower. It's a significant HP increase when you're taking so much negative armor. They catch him outside of that radius, he's going to get punished hard every time.
Going for Taiga here. Taiga is going to take just a pittance of damage and a very small stun. He is in Enchantress versus Grimstroke. We've seen this matchup a number of times. You have an offensive Dispel against Inkswell, a really great counter to that ability.
It's probably the counter in a lot of ways, especially in the soft lane. Look what they're going to...
One of the heroes for Taiga,
Yeah,
right? Like,
exactly.
he's looked great on it.
They want to try and take the bot tower earlier rather than later, and then just sort of leave Taiga in the vicinity. But a lot of greed, as the panel was saying, for both of these lineups. Liquid, all on comfort heroes. Like, this is the bread and butter for the squad, but their team fight could be tough. You're playing into Void and Tide, rather. And
no time walk. There we go. Skewer dodged by Anna, but it doesn't matter. His cover is utterly destroyed, and will find the first kill for Team Liquid.
I really like Koifa's build. He does this consistently. He skips in power early levels, gets 2 points Q, 1 point skewer. I think the offlane mag is a lot more viable this way.
Yeah.
Looks like he'll be going for a soul ring, maybe a bracer. Not sure how we'll choose to build it, but yeah, whenever I see the empower, it's like how best you're going to trade. Whereas we even saw Zai yesterday, was it? No, maybe 2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days.
The solo kill on a gyro.
Yeah.
With 3 points Q at level 5. The shockwave is pretty significant.
Yeah, even the top lane, Mickey, gonna be bailed out just barely by Insania with the cookie, and you can see the tango going to work there, keeping him alive. But man, this minus armor physical damage combination, this is making Hoodwink look very nice.
For now.
The
laning phase with a Tide Hunter against very low armor enemy heroes. Ember Spirit in the safe lane, not really known for the laning skills until you get more XP, but Seb certainly off to a great start. 21-9 against the 11 CS only of mid game. Mid is relatively even. Bottom also huge punish by Corbin. Just realized he is crushing on
Instant enchants, removing Inkswell. Koifa not sure who to go for. They actually kill Mickey at the top lane, but at the same time they got the shockwave skewer back onto No-Tail. But Anna and No-Tail just fight back and put the pressure on Taiga instead.
This is a dangerous note. Koifa already has arcane boots, so he's just gonna spam spells. No-Tail's in a lot of trouble. The chance gonna be up. It is now. That just might be a dead Grimstroke.
Trying to block out the time walk. They put a bunch of damage on him. He time walks away. Inkswell for the extra movement speed, and he will get out. But No-Tail not as lucky. The enchant put on him slows him down to a crawl. He'll die. Honestly, he may have just needed that, as I'm sure they're running low on some regen. Thompson, meanwhile, once again escaping with his life, ever so barely. It's this top lane. I mean, both the offlaners are just hard winning their lanes right now.
They did have the luxury of seeing the matchup they were going to play into, so the offlaners didn't know what they wanted. It's kind of the new meta, it feels like. Safe lane, I remember Arteezy complaining about this a few patches back. It's just, you feel like you're an offlaner. You just got to pick something to survive the laning phase.
Yeah.
Long gone are the days you could get away with greed. But we shall see. It's going to be interesting. Thompson's really the only space maker for his team. The blink timing is really what's going to open up the map for OG. Whereas on the side of Liquid, I think it's going to be Mickey for the most part. It's going to be playing a more active Ember Spirit. You've got late game secured with the Sumail Maul from mid.
Yeah, we've seen even Magnus be kind of a space creator the way 9 played it just yesterday, right? That was actually a really good example of how you could be active on that hero.
Invisibility.
But for now, relatively peaceful. I think the lanes will likely stay pretty static until ults come up.
Trying to hit him with the stomp there, but Anna in Chancellor wears out. A little bit more damage on him while he's not able to unwind it. And he only has the stick. Now he does have raindrops, and that may actually it won't save him at all. They just run him over quite literally in this bottom lane. Thompson looking for the punish here. DP's out and is going to go for the kill on the Taiga, which he very likely should have here with the combo. Actually doesn't have it. Still on cooldown for a bit, but I have to imagine Taiga is probably still going to die here eventually as he's flying blocked in. And one creep doing some work. Slow him down. Now no longer having to heal. They finally get the toss to finish him
Radiant's
off.
middle tower.
But you're going to take that all day if you're liquid. Mel's just hanging out middle.
That was a close one. Saksa, he commends Sumail on his quick reactions.
It's so cocky. He knew that he was baiting it out. I think he went to Agi first to see if Saksa would go for it. He did. Now the bottom refill. And that's the thing. You get the punish, right? They kill Taiga, but it gives Sumail 4 bottle charges mid, gets the freebie and then the full passed over, and you lost Ana. And if you look at this OG lineup, where's their damage output that's lasting throughout a fight, if not from Ana's right click?
Off with you!
You know, you get a tiny combo, you get a rabbit. After that, your damage disappears.
Do you think that, what about this Hoodwink hero? Do you feel like it can put out enough damage to cover some of that ground? Because basically your concern is Thompson's going to have to do everything, right?
Pretty much. I don't know. I like the 4 Hoodwink, but I think of it
Radiant's
more
middle
as
tower
this
is under
annoyance.
attack.
It's all like 4 Wind
Radiant
Ranger
structures are
in that
fortified.
sense. You get a lot of
Dire
+1s
are
for
scanning.
ganks and kills, but sustained damage in a fight is pretty tough. It's not as if you're ever buying something like a BKB and you're susceptible to the Ember Spirit pretty much all game.
Yeah.
Like, you're just gonna get dove.
Certainly. Ember Spirit does have some pretty decent heroes to run down.
I like the build from Ana though. It looks like he's got the diffusal queued up. I think that's the direction you're gonna have to go. Manta Diffu. One of the best gold per damage builds you can go for is a Void. I feel like in lower tier games, you see more players getting away with Midases, with
Radiant's
Battle
top
Furies,
tower
but
is under
at this
attack.
level, I just don't think that's viable.
Europe has been kind of
Dire's top
notorious
tower is
for
under
the
attack.
higher up the ladder you go, the faster the teams try and play against each other. Very little room for split pushing and trying to draw out the game.
Oh, Lucky gets the possessed mask.
The strong
Definitely the
take
best
what
tier 1
they
item for
desire.
Faceless Void, especially when you're suffering.
Yeah.
A lot of built-in sustain for him now. He's taking a lot of harass, so it's going to be very helpful.
Now he's got the higher levels of Time Walk. He should be able to deal with the Shockwave spam a little bit better. Meanwhile, top lane, Zeb continuing to dominate that lane, similar to the way the mag's going.
Yeah.
And
Dire's
they'll
top
both start
tower is
pressuring
under
the tower.
attack.
Mickey's going to go for the first
Dire's
rotation here.
structures
Yeah,
are
this is the right move. You don't really want to be
Radiant's
top
bottom
anymore.
tower
Seb's applying
is
too
under
much pressure.
attack.
Can't really kill him. And no tails.
Managed to get the silence on, and the skewer is going to be too late.
Well played. Yeah, it's a good rotate. You don't want to fight here if you're
Dire's
OG.
top
This is the
tower is
liquid
under
style
attack.
when they play with this 4-position Enchantress. They bring heroes to the enemy safe lane. They're going to
Radiant's
take the
bottom
tower and just
tower
leave
is under
Taiga in this
attack.
area. He's going to farm, scout with creeps, maybe look to collapse on middle. And
Dire's
Mickey,
top tower
he's going to be
is
the
under
one looking
attack.
to push. Because Sumail, at the end of the day, he's the right clicker. He wants to have free space. You can see him clearing out jungle camps along with mid-wave on spawn.
What have we here?
Smoke from OG
Dire's
support
top
duo.
tower
Perhaps
has
just to
fallen.
get some defensive wards up. I don't think you can make a play with just these two. Oh, Thompson's with them. Does he have blink? No. Still a ways away.
Cut over, they see Koifa right now.
like a shark.
Smoke breaks, they're gonna go for Koifa. Gonna be the target of all this aggression with the Inkswell combination and actually Hoodwink ultimate as well. They do have enough magic damage burst to clear out anybody, unless it's fully strength morphed.
Radiant's
Morph
bottom
like
tower
maybe.
is under
That's
attack.
going to be the play from OG. The support duo plus Thompson, you find kills, make space for Ana. He's just camping top. He's got this nice ward on the outpost that should secure him this area. And then Seb, yeah, I like the build. Just phase, soul ring, hood, very tanky,
Dire's
and he
middle
can just
tower
walk down
is
lane
under attack.
if desired.
Whoa, Cookie 3-man stun into a Centaur 3-man stun, and now the combo from Stadia and Taiga, a deadly support duo.
Damn.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just like they drew it up, Cap.
Radiant structures
You heard
are
it from
fortified.
Jabs in the pregame, the importance of coaching. I can see them on the whiteboard now with the diagrams.
So when they have 3 heroes grouped here,
Dire's top tower
give
is under
Cookie
attack.
to a Centaur
Radiant's middle
Conqueror.
tower
Oh man,
has fallen.
Bear Bryant reborn. Top lane Koifa looks like he was setting up for a potential RP.
Watch that one again. Yeah, Koifa's Not
That was
really
dangerous.
going for it. Look at that centaur ride, baby ride.
And the trust from Taiga, almost misplaced. You could see the centaur, or rather Insania had the trust. Taiga's Minotaur was off-angled, then he rotated it, gets it off.
Boy, but he was the one threatening to be able to kill Anna, but now he's going to find himself inside the chronosphere. Ludwig tracked on his RP. It was so close to being there, but he dies instead. Insania trying to go for a TP out. No bash from Anna, so he is able to get away. Taiga, a little bit sturdier here. Only has the one level of his heal, though, and so it probably means there's no way out for him. Sumail's going to come in, though. They're going to try and fight this one with Mickey. They actually are saying they've already used all of their burst damage. Maybe we can fight this one. Mickey has to be able to jump away. Thompson finally does die. The haste rune of Sumail allows him to be able to chase him down. Now he's going for, he does manage to morph into strength here, so this chain stun will only really poke at him a bit, but Sumail ultimately is not in any real threat.
Dire's middle tower
Such an
is
OG
under
move.
attack.
Who just used Ravage, lost 3, immediately run back to the enemy side of the map as 5 heroes.
I was gonna say, I think he's gonna do it. Stoxa was hoping to snipe out Sumail while he was agility morphed.
Yeah, the OG trying to play around the limited vision that they have, and Liquid, I think, not the worst fight for them. They know there's no Ravage, so once Chrono's used, you're going to be good to go. Still an RP on Koifa. Chose to get the hood instead of the Blink Dagger, so it's going to slow down Liquid's pacing a little bit, especially since Mickey has no points in chains. So really, Liquid took that fight mid with the only real stuns they had available.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
And they have no method of setup otherwise. And Seb now with the triple ancient stacks can be very kind to the Tide. Going for the Vlad's build. I like this. This is the Seb that we all know and love from watching it a couple of TIs. Going for the stat-heavy aura build. I think it's the right move in this game.
Dire's middle tower
Liquid,
is
they'll
under
come
attack.
online later. But you're perceptibly going to look to take fights around Roshan and objectives earlier in the mid-game. That's when you're going to have an edge. Gives a bit of a damage boost to the Void as well.
Thompson trying to be as efficient as possible. I think he was hoping to stack the hard camp or just clear it, I guess. New wave to
Radiant's
spawn because he is so
middle tower
close
is
to
under
his
attack.
blink dagger. And once he has that, they're going to be much more enabled. They do have the cookie to be able to slow down Mickey, but as you were saying earlier, don't have chains. In fact, Chronosphere is almost up. Liquid not really getting a whole lot done during this period of time of Ravage and Chronosphere being on cooldown.
Oh, bottom lane. He doesn't have Blink.
Doesn't have it just yet. He's going to be caught as Mickey's going to make his rotation over. Taiga slowing him down. Now, Thompson is still very tanky. It's going to take a while, but sadly, nobody from OG is even close. I think they saw that OG, they brought some heroes top lane, and they're saying, guys, if they're top, Thompson's all alone bottom, let's just go. Trying to go for the combo. That's enough burst damage, and Koifa getting caught in the crosshairs as well there as he tried to go for a desperate skewer RP to stop that combo on Sumail. This time around, Sumail is not fast enough to morph into strength.
This game is wild so far. I don't know if it's really mistakes being made by these teams. They're all just pushing their limits
Dire's
in almost
top
all
tower is
lanes
under
and
attack.
big spells being blown. Thompson looked like he almost got the toss off. He would have been able to potentially survive if Mickey had been chucked onto Taiga's Enchantress. He did purchase the Blink Dagger before death, so lost no gold, but still not ideal. Thing is, we haven't seen Ana on screen, but unfortunately his net worth doesn't really reflect the amount of space he's been given because he's a faceless Void.
Yeah.
So,
And he also doesn't like have an innate farming item.
yeah.
Right? He didn't go
Radiant
minus bounty or
scatter.
any of those. With the diffuser build, very active build, but he doesn't quite have it yet, so he's not being rewarded with hero kills or anything.
This is the combo, though. Inkswell, Tiny go forward. Probably find a kill on almost anybody. Mickey's going to be the guy.
It's chain stun, silenced, and then a follow-up stun on top of that. It is so deadly, and Liquid are going to have to be a lot more careful.
Yeah, because the danger they have is that no one on their team can really do that. They don't have a kill combination. OG, very simple. Supports holding Thompson's hand, or Ana's, or Seb's even, if they're willing to blow their ultimates. It's much easier for the OG lineup to find kills.
Dire's
And
middle
wait,
tower
Ravage
is
still on
under
cooldown.
attack.
Are you going to make this move, Liquid? I think they are. They have a lot of minus armor. Medallion plus maxed out little Shredder.
Yeah, they've got the...
Seb has no idea.
Yeah, he's just gonna walk by. If only it seems like Roshan's cavern is soundproof. The noise of this battle not extending outside of the cave, and Liquid will sneak themselves in early ages. And now we're going to go for a fight as they're all nearby. They can immediately try and force something out of Seb as the shots start coming in for the Mortimer's Kisses. On point, a couple of them land, but now he's beginning to get away. Taiga looks to just get in there right now, trying to force whatever he can. He's so bound up next to the Morphling. Morphling playing the back line. The burst damage is too much. Taiga gets taken out. The waveform forward gets him out of the Chronosphere, but gets into the bushwhack. Meanwhile, Insania is probably going to die to the RP. Skewer on the two. They have the burst damage to be able to take anybody down. They get Thompson, but Anna does manage to sneak away. Now with Inkswell, he turns back out of Koifa, hoping for bashes here, but the 3 cores of Liquid are still alive. He's got to run. He's got to get out of here.
Really nice fight from Liquid. That Roche was huge. They sneak it, immediately look to fight as 5. Seb did not have his Ravage up for about 10 seconds. Really well done by Sumail. Looks like he waveformed just as the Chronosphere came out. We're going to see it again in just a moment. But the big danger for the Tide here is, he's just getting kissed on. There's really not much he can do. Ana comes through with a quick dilation, but you can see him get the ultimate off here. If he catches Sumail, this is huge. But it looks like he's going to get it just a little bit late. Seb takes a ton of damage, and then Ana goes in, boom, the waveform through. Otherwise, this fight might be a significantly different story, because Koif is then there. Easy skewer, double RP.
Yeah, they at least would be able to. They would have lost Thompson and maybe Soxa, but Seb surviving would have been a massive boon to OG.
He's their top net worth.
Yeah.
He's not just an offlaner.
7,700 net worth on him. It's Sumail, and the difference between him and anybody else, and it's going to make a difference. But OG not wants to slow down after a lost team fight. They're going to move forward and try and take it even against Sumail, battling it out right now. May does manage to work at a shrink, but he's losing some of his allies. A bash. Liquid wanted that. His quick button ends up falling into its grave. They turn around and go for Thompson, and Sumail is trying to take out the game as fast as possible. But a beautiful bushwhack into an Inkswell. Fortunately, Nick is able to dodge it with a sleight of fist, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't have the remnants out. Thompson is still alive through all of this. While Tang is poking at him, Sumail, he falls. His second life is coming up, but Thompson, he's getting healed up. Taiga now falls, and Sumail on his extra life has no allies behind him. He will run to the safety of the tier 2, and OG will not pursue, but they win a big fight and get an ancient.
Dude, I killed Liquid. You could have called Crow. He would have told you they're going to keep running at you. You have no RP. Ravage is available. They do not need Chronosphere. They just need one huge AoE stun. Seb got a 4-man Ravage off because Liquid, they're just fighting as if they're stronger. But team fight-wise, OG, if you don't kill the supports off, they get a couple rounds of spells. Like, once again, Liquid don't have real stuns. The cookie was used just to disengage, and then Taiga's dead. That's a lot of your damage output is Liquid. You don't have stuns. You do not have team fight to deal with just the auras that Seb provides. He's going to have a Solar Crest soon, but Vlad's giving everybody +3 armor and the bonus damage. He had Ravage.
Yep.
You fought into Ravage with no RP. You can't do that.
Gotta remember True Sight. What Kuro said. Remember, guys, they're monkeys. They're gonna run at you. Cut to No Tail.
Yeah. Also, interesting note, I haven't seen any voice line spam. What happened to that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dire's
gee.
middle tower
Very
is under
quiet.
attack.
Maybe they're just all business today. Jumping out, Mickey looking for a pick-off. Soxa does have the bushwhack, mistimes it as he comes down for the old step.
I guess.
It may not matter either way. Sumail getting picked off, though. That is a
Dire's
much bigger
bottom tower is under
whatever's
attack.
happening here with Soxa. He's going to say, all right, that was good space. In fact, we're even going to take Twin Towers looking like as two of the Collector going to stall this out just a little bit. It's double chains. But Skewer back into tier 2, pushing him in as deep as possible. Does have the cookie on top of that one. They actually do manage to burst down Anna. Insania with a great chain stun off of Koifa's Skewer.
That was sick play.
Tier 1 tower will now finally
Dire's
fall.
middle
Seb
tower
takes it.
has fallen.
The spatial awareness is what really separates these teams from the chaff. That was so sick. Mickey's getting ran up by Thompson, gets comboed, still has the presence of mind to realize Koifa had skewered right after Ana leapt forward, brings him into tower range, and then boom, they're there for the slight change to finish. That was necessary for all 3 heroes to get the optimal amount of damage off in that window. Otherwise, he just leaps away and survives. Sumail does die. Chrono was spent. He's got to be a little more cautious, though, pushing out into areas with no vision. Another smoke from OG. They got to be running low on these. Still hunting, same pairing. No Tail plus Thompson.
Here comes the burst damage. He's got a Vanguard and a Holy Locket, but it's not enough to stop a tiny combo with Inkswell, and you add in the Hoodwink's damage on top of that. I mean, this is the most insane thing about Hoodwink. It may be kind of a bit of a bad hero for most players, but if you can manage to make Sharpshooter work for you, like, that is easily the most OP part of this hero.
Oh, yeah. And that's the same kill combo we've seen now executed 3 or 4 times, oftentimes off smoke.
Yeah.
Just Inkswell onto tops and heat blinks, supports blow their damage, and
Radiant
anybody in the game
are
dies.
scanning.
So,
Yeah, and you could tell that this is not, like, it's so much that Taiga's not able to play the same kind of game he normally does with his Enchantress. I mean, again, look at him. He's got Holy Locket plus Vanguard. He's used to just being able to run in there, no cares whatsoever, get a bunch of information, maybe draw a little attention, but he is actually being bursted down.
that's the key item queued up now. The
Yeah.
casual cloak.
Yeah.
It is not the right clicks that are killing you. He gets the Vanguard primarily just for the damage reduction. Well, the raw HP.
Yeah.
But it's
Radiant's
cloak that's
bottom
necessary.
tower
You need
is
the
under
magic
attack.
resist.
You need to be like a shark.
There we go. Seb getting a little more active. Learning from the best of this division. Team Alliance, of course, 6-1. They get to watch, enjoying the Swedish summer, maybe some chips, hanging out outside,
Yeah.
Crocs on. No, not a care in the world.
Doing a lot of sunbathing.
Yeah,
Notice
the-
that. The Swedes gotta soak up the sun when you can.
There's not much of it. Except for these months. Now with the stack, I really like the way this diffusal's played out for him. It feels like he's been able to get a lot more work done just because he has his own mini disable.
Yeah.
Makes it a lot more difficult for... keep thinking Taiga's playing Snapfire, but it is Insania this game.
Yeah.
And he's gunning for him almost every single engagement. Ravage up, Chrono 2, all spells available.
Leave it to OG to try and go an early tiny Aghanim Scepter off of the Faces Void Connoisseur. Saksa gonna be spotted here. Dual Scepter dodging both the impetus as well as a shotgun blast. Taiga, he does have... Okay, he's going to be broken now. Seb, a little bit easier time putting in the damage, but unless it's a Faces Void, it won't really matter that much. Mickey, he really wants to carry supports and Samuel has to break around from that shotgun. Does manage to break down. And he got it off the board strength. He's surviving for now, but they're in dangerous position. Mickey trying to run away, jumps over to his remnant that's finally overclicked now, but he doesn't have very many more. Jumps again, RP onto 2, giving Mickey a little bit of room to run. Anna, is he going to go after him? He's gonna try time walk. Oh, time, yeah.
Someone bleed out in the mix.
It's a bit too much for him. It's been time dilated by Samael. Finally, they turn back over to Taiga, who finally does die. The combo on Insania is not quite enough from Thompson, so it's only the 4th position that dies unless the shot long range, but it's not quite there.
Not quite William Tell, but close. Doxa almost picks off the
Dyer's top
Snapfire.
tower
With
is
that,
under
they
attack.
scan immediately for Roche. It might respawn in 2 seconds if OG get lucky. They still have all their ultimates. We'll see the clock in a moment. 1:54, so plenty of time. Now it's a little worrisome though, because OG, you've got to be cautious
top
utilizing
tower is
big
under
ultimates.
attack.
That was the one fight the buyback was expected. No Tail didn't even hesitate. He's immediately looking to come back in the fight, TP to the top tier 1.
Got the trying to go for a big smoke play. We're back into the chain stuns. Very nicely executed without...
They did use RP, but it will be back up before Roche. Liquid obviously have the timing, so they'll know it's possible.
That was the RP from the last team fight, you mean, right? So, they were able to get a kill on Anna without having to use any big ultimates. But Samael barely surviving through it, man. He is very much not afraid of these heroes, apparently. He wasn't even morphing into strength. Now they managed to kill the Grimstroke and they're chasing down Seb. Seb, a hard hero to bring down, but they do have all these heroes gunning after him underneath the tier 2s. Another tiny combination that is just not quite enough to finish off Samael. He morphs into strength, throws a gush out to finish off the opposing Tidehunter, and now they've caught Thompson for daring to try and touch Samael. They will punish him, execute him.
That's just another really weird engagement. Feels like these teams just don't know the definition of back, because OG did not have Ravage, their Void was already dead, and they just team fight anyway. They just come punch us, see, give us your best shot, but they lose that hard. Luckily for them, Roche is still not available, so expect a full reset from both teams.
Well, a full reset into OG. being like, well, Chronosphere Ravage is back up, guys, and they're going to 5-man to Liquid, and then they're going to win that team fight, and then Liquid's going to be like, all right, Chronosphere and Ravage is down, guys, let's run an OG, and then they'll win that team fight.
Anything goes in this game. Really weird item build for Mickey, but I kind of dig it. He went for a Kaya Sanj. So, Spell Amp and the status resistance.
Yeah, I mean, time dilation is a killer. I'm a
Radiant
little bit
are
surprised he
scanning.
didn't go specifically to dispel
Radiant's
that.
top tower is under attack.
Maybe just to, try and live through it. His BKB will be up next. Roshan has spawned. And remember, they are playing with Empower, so Mickey's going to hit hard even without necessarily itemizing for it. Plus, Mickey is the real right clicker. He also went for the E-Blade, so their magical burst is now real significant. Mickey also going for the Flame Guard Absorption and DPS talents. So more of a magical presence in this game. Seb?
Paladin, so that is a great pickup for a Morphling. If he survives through the burst, which he has been able to do so far, then the lifesteal that he's getting.
Because there's no Vessel, there's no Shivas, there's no Scotty, so absolutely nothing you can do to mitigate regen on the side of OG right now. It's all about the team fight. They have the Blink on the Tide and the Solar.
Liquid, seems like they're beginning to recognize the pace here. The tree being used to get vision up on the high ground so they can get the easy D ward, but of course everything is playing for Roshan right now. Liquid cannot just hide in their base. They do need to get active. Make sure OG is not doing Roshan themselves. They're going to pull Roshan out, make sure nobody's inside the pit. They do have a nice offensive ward in the triangle that wasn't de-warded on the side of Liquid, so Liquid may end up trying to be a little active around that damage for Thompson. That's a nice pickup there.
And he gets in the bottle too, so be able to conserve it. Like what Liquid are doing though. Mickey, he's like, all right, you guys have fun standing here. Force the stalemate. I'm going to go farm bottom, try and get some information, come right back. And Liquid, just play around your vision. That's the key. They have that great ward, as you said. And they're huddled up around the one they have on the high ground. As the creep scouts out from them.
Oh, whoa, Koiba's looking into the anybody to get close to the ward to get him. The dominant performance in the air. Drop back down hard. They have to be going down there. And the RP to bring it down into Jules. But they don't have any damage behind it. Now here comes McGinn. Gets off the Chronosphere to try and save his own life, but the damage is there from Samael. Walking into agility, they know that Seb is caught. The bait around the ward, around the high ground, catches OG.
Nice ward, bro. Oh my god, I don't know how. What a wild fight. That's the difficulty. You gotta listen to Obi-Wan, OG. You cannot afford to try and charge up the high ground when your damage output is limited. The Ravage was used before they were really in position, and then I was just caught. He ends up tanking a full Shamel just killed everybody on the outskirts of the fight. The supports didn't even seek its spells off. And poor Soxa gets skewered in to start the engagement, so he had no hope, but well played by Liquid, I guess. Just pretty much played under the ward Koifa with another really nice skewer.
Radiant's
I feel like
top
those have done
tower
more work this game than his RPs, but
Radiant's middle
definitely playing
tower
well.
is under attack.
Nice toss back into the silence. Very pretty combo from OG. That was sick. That was very nice. Liquid now down a minute. It doesn't matter if you have the Aegis. If you lose a hero like one of your controllers, like Mickey here, now Taiga potentially caught. They soul bind them together. They're going to chase after Pusher. The W Scepter hold him in place. The Inkswell. He's going to be able to get this done, trying to concentrate on somebody, but Taiga is really not going to get over here. Does manage to jump on Mickey with the buyback dies immediately. They don't have an RP. They don't have any big damage. Samael, he's going to try and do bit by bit with this. Scotty focusing on Seb. He's jumping forward, turning into a base of forward, tomahawking forward, and then waveforming forward to manage to finish him off. Samael is going to have to carry this with his two supports, and it's actually looking good. But Scotty is tearing apart OG right now. They can't put up with this damage. The Mortimer's Kisses raining in. Soxa, he's going to be the target while the Mortimer's Kisses chase after Anna. They all land, but the range is not quite there. Samael running low on mana, won't manage to chase after Soxa. So both of the two heroes will survive, the attention being split by Liquid there.
I have no idea what's happening in these fights, Cap. Like that, it's all coming down to OG. They didn't have their big spells up. Mickey getting just way too cocky in front of the tier 2. Well played by OG. They pick him up, but he dies again immediately after buyback. Thank God for him. Sumail has the Aegis, but more importantly, look at that net worth advantage. 4.5k. Basically a full Scotty out in front of the Void. Otherwise, that might be very dangerous for Liquid. Because they really have no ability to take down Sumail, because they have nothing to deal with the regen.
Yeah.
They will soon, on closing in on the Scotty, but
It does seem like the only limiting factor to Sumail in a lot of these fights now is just his mana, because he's burning through so much of it. Not only is morphing actually cost him mana now, but he's going through Shotgun Blast, and then he's turning into, you know, some other hero, and he's trying to throw some spells out there.
he's been really good using the time dilations in the fight. Too much really happening to get a read on it, but excellent spells.
Sumail, is he going to go to the high ground and find a kill? Sneaks up there, but No Tail is already gone.
Double trouble.
8,000 net worth lead for Team Liquid, 27-20 to Liquid's favor. Do you feel like this game has a turning point where the Faceless Void versus Morphling starts feeling a bit better for OG? Or is this just going to be a constant
Dire's
uphill
bottom
battle for
tower
them?
is under
Hard to
attack.
say. It's really about execution. OG need to find kills with their big stun combinations. I don't think you ever just straight up outscale, because Liquid have such a greedy lineup. But theoretically, once your Void can deal enough damage, you make the Ember, the Morph, the Mag afraid for their
Dire's bottom
lives,
tower
just stepping
is
out of
under
position for just a
attack.
moment. That'll naturally open up the map back up for OG, but they're being smoked at. They're all 5 here, but they gotta
Dire's
Or
warn.
they spot Anna, they know at least the carry of OG is here, and they could probably assume the rest are here as well.
OG
OG,
having a plane.
Dire
all hiding in the
are
trees now.
Thompson's way too far away.
Dire's
They gotta get
bottom
out of here
tower
now.
is
Start
under
TPing out.
attack.
OG, they make the read, and Mortimer's Kisses being just thrown out, trying to get some vision of anybody here. No Tail does not have a TP scroll, or rather, sorry, he has cooldown on his, but he's hiding in like the
Dire's
most
bottom
obvious
tower
spot,
is under
and they just
attack.
actually assume, oh, everybody from OG got out.
Yeah, that's poker right there.
A bounty
Good
which
bluff
may
by
make you
No
a
Tail.
prize.
And now we have an Ag's Scepter on Thompson. Don't typically see this rush too often, but yeah, the Tree Volley, aka massive AoE damage. So playing more around the idea that a big Chrono or a big Ravage could turn things around here for OG.
Now, are you still looking to be, like, they've been unsuccessful at doing, oh, did you catch him?
Oh, look how TV's out now. It's like, I just
Yeah.
wanted to prove that I could. I'm dead.
OG's focus. They've been having a hard time bursting down the Morphling. It is possible, though, right?
Yeah.
You've got so much damage they could certainly do it. Do you think
Dire's
they still
top
go for that
tower is
idea?
under attack.
Or do you think they should just kill the surrounding cast of Team Liquid?
I mean, Morph is definitely your target. You have enough to deal
Okay.
with him for sure, especially once the Scotty's finished, because then even if you get Strength Morph off, you're still going to have a pretty good shot. Like, Tree Volley does some pretty significant damage, Exhibit A.
Yeah.
Also, Observer, check for a second. Insania has the combo. He's got Shard, he's got Blink. That means the Scatter Blast point blank will now stun. We've seen this work on multiple players on Team Liquid. I haven't really seen Insania pull it off, but it's because he doesn't get many opportunities to ride the dragon.
No, absolutely. He's definitely trying to give off his best Taiga impression, as that was the shard that he was given from the Roshan kill earlier.
Yep. Definitely the
Radiant's
best one.
bottom tower is under
Out of his
attack.
team, then we see the
Radiant
Dragonlance, the casual
structures
cloak,
are
very
fortified.
necessary for Tiger, just increasing his survivability. Top lane, we're gonna have our, I guess the gentleman's tier 2
Dire's
trade,
top tower
as the clock
is under
switches us
Radiant's
over to
bottom
nighttime,
tower.
and then the
Dire's
outposts
top
will
tower
likely
is
trade
fallen.
places as well. 10k gold lead still for Liquid, but the later this game gets, the more negligible that advantage truly is. It'll really all just come down to the next big fight around
Radiant's
Roshan.
bottom
OG,
tower is
their
under
strength
attack.
lies in their 5-on-5 engagement. The pick-off play is no longer really viable. Thompson and the 2 supports don't have the freedom that they did previously.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Aether lens on Sox, that's quite nice. They're running a lot of Glimmer Capes on OG. Noto has one queued up, already have one on the Hoodwink as well. There's the BKB on Mickey.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, if you check out even the net worth charts, right? A lot of the gold advantage is Sumail in comparison to the rest of the game. And
Radiant
then No Tail
are
being
scanning.
underfarmed in relation to the 2 Liquid supports. So, yeah, Sumail's huge, he has that BKB, but if he gets chronoed
Radiant's
before it's
middle
popped and
tower
dies,
is under
that whole
attack.
gold advantage means nothing.
Yeah, so it's going to be all eyes on Sumail,
Radiant's
whether or
middle
not
tower
he
is
gets
fallen.
off the BKB or Morph Strengths in time. Like, if he just dies in a Chronosphere, there goes 22,000 worth of your net worth.
Exactly.
And OG haven't been successful so far at being able to catch him unawares and burst him down.
Radiant's bottom tower is
It's
under attack.
definitely OG's in their MO. They try again.
Careful, Saksa. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe
Good hole.
he stood on the high ground for just a little too long. It's like, you're not in the trees, my friend. You're going to be playing up top here.
He's gonna throw another round. Of course he is.
Time to scurry away. Gets the nice
Dire's
ward down.
top
Always
tower is
helpful to have
under
any
attack.
vision this deep on the enemy side, so long as it doesn't get countered.
They're gonna smoke to the other side of the map.
As he tries to go for the outpost, they're going to surprise Seb. Magic damage raining it is going to be enough. Now, Quack's going to be able to pull back No Tail as well. Thinking about this here, doesn't even need it. 2 quick pickoffs for Team Liquid,
As they essentially just trying to make a rapid deployment from one side of the map to the other with the smoke.
Really well played. And they've realized, like, they can kill Tide. Sumail just pops all his damage off because he knows that the Enchantress Impetus, and more importantly, the ultimates from Insania, will do plenty of damage. And Seb, the one hero on his team who does not have buyback. Liquid should have timers on this. It is the cooldown
Radiant's bottom tower
from that previous
is under
fight
attack.
a few minutes ago, and they're going to push bot.
It seems like they may have this read, but
Radiant's
Taika,
bottom tower has
fortunately,
fallen.
Thompson didn't feel comfortable staying there for long. Actually blinked down to cancel his tree volley, because he knows otherwise Migay would have grabbed him in the trees with a sleight of fist chains combination. Another round of tree volley. Starts going after
Radiant's
Sumail,
bottom
looking to be able to slow down his damage as best as possible, forcing him to morph in strength. But another 40 seconds on the clock. Team Liquid looks to maybe go for 2, but RP, Needle coming out on Anna. They need to be able to burst him down now, but it looks like Thompson running interference will allow Anna to be able to get back. Now the tree volley will finish off Koifer most likely in Chronosphere. He will get Sumail as well. Can they actually get him though? He's got a BKB coming up immediately after this. Chronosphere is going to turn around and immediately start going for Thompson. He gives the stun off, and there goes Thompson down for 80 seconds. No Tail's going to be up next, maybe in Saksa as well. He has the does, so he will survive through an initial adaptive strike. The E-Blade follows it up, slows him down, but Liquid realize this is a time for objectives. They still have 5 more seconds without the Tide Hunter.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
No Chronosphere either.
No
It's gonna be really tough to
Chronosphere. I mean, they're going to have to somehow defend this. Fortunately, they're still tier 2, actually, so OG, they don't necessarily have to do anything here.
Well, they will have to watch then as Liquid retreat and look to go collect a free Roshan.
That's
They
true.
have 2 racks already. They just blew this game wide open by catching Seb in the jungle.
Kyle, judgment call right now. If
I'm not
they know
close to
Roshan's up, they know Liquid's going to do it. Do you contest here, or do you try and hold out?
I don't think you can win this fight with no Thompson. I guess Koifa's down as well.
It's just one of those
Risky.
hard questions. Do you give them Aegis and Refresher and try and hold high ground, or do you go for the contest without all of your heroes? And they're going to go for the contest, and it's the right choice. Liquid, they're going to be the ones to back down. They blink first. Well, blink for a second, maybe. Think about going back in. Inkswell, setting up Sumail for a second here. Also managed to get the Silence Stick. Long-range shot. They managed to get the Ravage off of that one. Here comes some more Bruce Kisses, though. The BKB, the Soulbind holding in the Morphling as well. The Ember Spear, but the damage is just not there with their half their BKBs active. Anna doesn't seem to be comfortable doing enough damage here. Saksa going to be climbing to find himself a little bit of time. Meanwhile, Koifa, the offlaner, going to battle on the high ground, king of the hill. And while Anna is trying to survive against the onslaught of 4 different heroes from Team Liquid, does manage to bring down Insania. Time walks backwards, does manage to dodge some of the damage. He's being chased after a disarm, put onto Sumail, allows Anna just to get away for a moment, but Migay's quick to chase after. Tree volley right in, that'll finish on Migay. Buybacks coming in from OG, they want this Roshan, they want it bad, they need to be able to win this fight right now, but Sumail turning into a faceless void, once again, time walking backwards and slowing it down. They said, they bought that, guys, we can chill if we can just disengage. This is good for us, but a tree volley, OG, they're not going to let him get away. Skewer back, skewering them in, they do manage to control him up, but there's no damage. Cookie goes out, controlling out the gun on Anna even more, but a nice push whack actually slowing down Sumail now, but now it's OG. They're the ones in the
There you go.
He's quite low. He gets way formed over Sumail. Now looking to kill Anna. They can see the end of the game right in front of them. They can kill the big carry, the Glimmer Cave. Bought him a little bit of time. He Chronosphere turns around, goes for the kill on Sumail. The ghost is coming. Sumail, he's surviving through it bit by bit. Anna needs the bashes and he needs him now, but he's not quite getting him. The name swell. And he does get him. A buyback coming out from Sumail, but Anna's got to get out of here before the hard carry of Liquid arrive. And on the run, Koifa on pursuit. Pursuit wants to be able to catch him. He's got a Blink Dagger. Might just be able to catch him with a Shockwave Skewer, but no. Anna's out. Time walks away. OG, they're given a chance here.
Oh my god, the voice bots coming out, they're feeling themselves, it's still pretty tight. They know Zeb is dead for a long time, and all big spells are down. You gotta be really careful here, Thompson. You bought back. Cannot afford to die, but man, I thought for sure he was gonna live. He skilled up backtrack because he had hit level 25 as he was running away. I'm like, oh my god, if he somehow lives and turns something around because of that, it's gonna be wild.
Radiant's top tower is under
OG,
attack.
they're going to need a combo for the ages to be
Radiant's
able to
top
hold
tower
this back,
is
and they
falling.
don't have Chronosphere. Liquid, if they play this fast enough, they may not even have to worry about Ravage either, and they may just be able to claim Megas. We'll see. 10 seconds left. There is a glyph, so they're going to have to contend with Ravage no matter what, but they may not have to worry about Anna here. The chainsaw is there. RP into Cookie into a shotgun blast that blows off his head. Anna's dead, and that without a carry. Both sides are just hardcore banking on their carry. There's just not much fight left in OG now. They're going to try, though. Thompson throwing out a combo with the tree volley. Double toss, triple toss, maybe, but Koifa's still looking healthy, and ultimately they cannot contend with Samael. The king is here. He's going to take over the game. The Ravage going out. Maybe they'll kill Koifa here another toss, but ultimately now it's Samael's turn to have a little fun as he turns around, tosses up, tosses it, and slams down
So well, shout out to Taiga. He's not going to get too much love for his actual damage output, but the way he's positioned himself has made it so much easier for Liquid to play this fight. Consistently, the man standing between OG and his entire stack, it's been very difficult for them to get off big combinations. You can see even that last fight on the Roche pit, the Ravage comes out, it's on enemy high ground, the rest of the team is not even in that screen. The status resist, by the time anybody's actually there to follow with damage, Morphin, Ember, BKB, you got nothing to do but run away.